Hi, laying in here, starting out this video on my just waking up bottom 40-gallon breeder. I have two rescues in here that were surrenders, and I have one that was a gift and one I actually got on eBay from a place called News before I got really into the hobby and really into rescue, but I love little baby Pearl. And I am starting out my frequently asked goldfish question part 2 video. And this first question actually came from a group on Facebook called the Goldfish Council, and they were asking about grooming. And grooming is the process of growing out fish to look their best and to have attributes that you want them to have as much as you can control environmentally, because there are some things you're just not going to be able to control because of genetics, but there is a lot that we can do environmentally that will play into the size of the goldfish, how much their ren develops, how fast their color changes, how bright their colors are. There's a lot that goes into just grooming a regular goldfish. And for people going for show quality goldfish, they're usually really focused on getting the best qualities of whatever breed of goldfish that they're working with. And so that is what goldfish grooming refers to, is keeping up with their husbandry in a way that encourages them to have the best possible show-winning qualities. Or not. I mean, I guess you're still grooming them if you're just raising them to be pet goldfish, but usually when people talk about grooming, they're talking about the things you can do to make them quote-unquote perfect. I think my goldfish are perfect as is, because they are healthy and they are happy, so that's all that matters to me. Okay, on to the next question. This question comes from Logan at Aquahogs. Gonna link him somewhere down below. Check out his channel, it's another goldfish one. And he was wondering, how do you tell the sex of a goldfish without them exhibiting breeding behaviors? Of course, because the most obvious way to sex a goldfish is to see who's chasing who and who's squirting the eggs, but sometimes that doesn't happen, and sometimes goldfish do funny things in tanks. Sometimes even female fish will get breeding stars, which is one of the ways they say to try to tell the genders of your fish, is if on the side of their gills they get little bumps they call breeding stars. But I've even seen female fish get breeding stars. So it's really annoying to tell, but the most accurate way to tell is to try to find their vents down under their caudal fins and around their anus. If they are a girl, they will have a little outie, like I will show you on one of these fish if they hold still long enough. Okay, so see how on Pumpkin, the sherbumpkin there, that's a girl, and she has just a little spot sticking out right around her butt, right around her anus. And that is a marker that she is a female. Males, on the other hand, like daddy fish here, will have a smooth area around their rectum and sometimes even a little indent, though it's hard to see. My guys are begging for food. But yeah, it's kind of funny because based on human anatomy, you'd think it would be the opposite, but you want to look for little outies on girls and little innies on boys. Thank you for your question on how to sex goldfish. It can be really tricky because especially when you get into the more fancy varieties and the fins, you can mistake. I've mistaken genders before, but that is the best way to tell. This question comes from Aquamate, who just got 2 goldfish. Congratulations. He has a 55-gallon tank for them, and he was wondering how many goldfish I would recommend stocking in that, and how many goldfish would go well in a 55 is actually a question that I have gotten quite a lot. So thank you so much for asking that. First of all, if you're going out and buying a tank new, which I know you did not, but just for general listeners, if you're going out and buying a tank new, I actually switched out my 55 breeders for my 55 gallons for 40 breeders, because at least the standard tanks in American Petco's and stuff, the 40 breeders actually have 45 gallons in them, and they're a lot wider than the 55-gallon tanks, and so the goldfish tend to really appreciate that wide space a lot more. However, a 55-gallon will do you totally fine for your babies, and you could even get 1 or 2 more depending on the type of the goldfish. And hi, Mr. Kitty. Depending on the type of the goldfish, the amount of work you're willing to do, and the type of filtration you have. I would basically treat your stockings the same as a 40 breeder, and 40 breeders I always think are great for 3 fancy goldfish, the more egg-bodied ones, and I think you can put a 4th in there if you're willing to really amp up your work. But if you don't want to have a lot of work, 3 would be perfect in that 55-gallon. You can plant it. You could get a little ranchu to go with your, I think you said Orandas. That'd be really cool. These are my ranchus. All the fish are kind of slow tonight because I'm filming at night and just being really rude and turning their lights on and waking them up. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry, babies. I let you go back to sleep. I'm sorry. This tank is hanging in there, doing well. Even little Topsy Lopsy hanging out in the plants back there, still doing well. And thank you so much for that question. I will be linking everybody's videos. Or not videos. Oh. Sorry. I will be linking everybody's YouTube channels who has one who asked a question today. So thank you all, and please be sure to check out Aquamate. Yeah, Mr. Kitty likes the fish too. Not really. He just likes to be in the video. Okay, I am going to move on to my last question of the video. Hi, Emerald. back on my mainly long-bodied tank for my final question here. And this was a really hard question. Chewy Limited, who you should check out, asked me if I could only keep one type of goldfish, with rescue not being an issue. All goldfish in this world are magically taken care of, and I could keep one species only. What would it be? And this was hard because, of course, the first thing I went to was like the Tosakin or the Joaquin, these really kind of rare goldfish that you have to spend a lot of money on, and that I'm probably never going to, I am probably never going to work with in my time. And it was very tempting to pick one of those, but instead I decided to pick the Sherbumpkin because they are referred to as poor man's koi, and there's a reason for that. She's coming out here, and she is a little rescue Sherbumpkin. She is not even as big and bright and beautiful as they can get, and look how gorgeous she is. And what I love about Sherbumpkin is that they're still so beautiful and majestic and easy to watch, and kind of like graceful movers, the same things that are awesome about long-bodied goldfish, but they stay just a little bit smaller often, and there's still so much diversity that you can get into when working with Sherbumpkins. Like, you can get Bristol Sherbumpkins or London Sherbumpkins or Americans and hybrids, and it's really cool. And I like that they have, while having all this color and beauty, they have fairly unmodified bodies, so their health risks are very minimal compared to a lot of my favorite fancy goldfish. Sherbumpkins are very, very hardy, and I like pets that live a long time, because to me, no matter what the animal is, it's a pet, and I like it the way you like a pet, not a project or a collection. So yeah, I've just been filming Pumpkin, my Sherbumpkin, for this last little question here. Thank you all so much for your questions. I'm sorry this video is a lot more rushed and less edited than I wanted it to be. Things have been nuts here. But thank you so much for your time. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and love your pets. They will absolutely love you back.